Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. We know my love-hate relationship with TikTok is mainly hate, let's be honest. But not the platform itself, but the kind of content that's created over there. It's all about getting that viral moment, those views, more than any social media platform I think I've ever come across. And along with that comes some really stupid hacks, trends, and some of them are actually just plain dangerous. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, some of the most dangerous beauty hacks from the world of TikTok. Let's start with possibly one of the worst trends I think I've ever come across. It's not gory, it's not gruesome, it's not going to damage your face in any way, but it's horrible. Let's talk about scalp popping. It's as horrible as the name suggests. So this is a trend where people grab their hair, they twist it round and then yank at the hair until they hear a pop. It's a real loud popping noise, almost like someone cracking their neck. It's horrible and hard to explain. So here's an example.
Ready? Yeah, go.
Okay, so it's horrible. The comments of this video is flooded with people being like, what is this? It's actually horrible. Like, I hated that. But the comments of this video are flooded with people being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this? Well, other comments are like, this is actually part of their culture. They're saying that their parents would do this to them as a sickness remedy to help cure a cold. However, it scientifically doesn't do that or anything. Of course, this is TikTok, so people ran with it. They're like, this helps grow your hair, can help with like stopping baldness and hair fall, all this ridiculous stuff that just doesn't happen. So what is actually making this popping noise? So there's a sheet of tissue that when popped like this can tear away from your scalp. So that popping that you hear is actually a tear. And along with this, you can damage your hair follicles, generally lose your hair with risk of it never growing back. There is no hidden beauty benefit here whatsoever. There's no growth hair hack. It's just ripping your scalp. It's horrific. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. The next one is a fairly old trend now, and luckily I don't see people doing it anymore, but this is a beauty hack where people are using plain as can be 3% hydrogen peroxide that they order off places like Amazon and eBay, somewhere like that, to apply directly to their teeth to whiten them. Let's have a look at this.
So I saw a dentist on TikTok saying that the main ingredient in whitening strips was hydrogen peroxide and that it's really cheap to buy on its own. Now if you're a dentist, don't tell me this is wrong, save me the grief, the damage has already been done, okay? But basically I got a £4 bottle from eBay and it has to be 3%, and I dipped it in with a cotton bud and wiped it on my teeth for about 30 seconds to a minute. Towards the end I ended up putting it in the cap and swishing it around my mouth before I brushed my teeth. It is disgusting. It literally tastes like whitening strips. It's disgusting. But basically, after 4 days, I had to stop doing it because it worked so well. So just stop wasting your money on this.
Now, she claims that this is the same stuff used in teeth whitening strips, which is true. But it's formulated to be in there and is usually encapsulated in like a gel, right? Now, I'm only presuming these are different because of the delivery method. Whitening strips have that gel that delivers the hydrogen peroxide, along with other things, is very different to applying the pure liquid to your teeth. Now, there are some sensitivity issues when it comes to using teeth whitening strips, but overall they've been deemed safe in the US. Now, of course, putting hydrogen peroxide right onto your teeth is dangerous. 3% hydrogen peroxide is actually illegal for anyone to use on their teeth in the UK if you are a non-professional dentist, or dental professional, sorry. Dentist and Waterpik spokesman Chris Stanberg, DDS, says that prolonged bleaching with these high concentrations of hydrogen peroxide, especially when used multiple days in a row, can lead to highly irritated gums and sensitive teeth. Gum irritation can get severe if more bleaching is done when the gums are already irritated. Tooth sensitivity is usually temporary, 24 hours or so, but significant bleaching can increase tooth sensitivity permanently with long-term use. People were actually using this to rinse their mouths as well, so they weren't just applying direct to the tooth with like a cotton bud, they were using this as mouthwash. And basically this dentist here says technically this will work, but also don't do that. There are much more safer alternatives.
Hydrogen peroxide is one of the best ways to whiten teeth, but what matters is both the concentration and the contact time with teeth. When you swish with this, it's not going to be in contact with your teeth long enough to deliver the best results. Find products like gels or strips that contain either hydrogen peroxide or carbamide peroxide to get a lot better results.
Let's talk about freckles, because freckles have been a trend for years now, and I feel like it's gone beyond a trend because it's kind of surpassed the length of a trend, if that makes sense. People love freckles. People who have them tend to not. I always in my comments get people being like, why do you want freckles? I hate mine. I'm like, well, people who don't have them really want them. And whenever I used to tan, I would get freckles all up here and I would love them. I would try and keep them. But now I use sunscreen and I cover up and I barely go out in the sun. Well, I do, like, no, but I don't sunbathe, you know. I don't get them anymore, but I love the way they look. And there are so many fake freckle hacks, from henna to root touch-up sprays to eyeliners to flicking mascara. There are so many out there. Some are better than others, but it went as far as people tattooing on their own freckles. You can buy tattoo kits from like Amazon. I didn't know this until I filmed a video with my brother. You can just buy them. The most popular case of this comes from a beauty influencer and Big Brother Australia contestant Tilly Whitfield. She purchased what she thought was tattoo quality ink from the internet, and then she tried to tattoo on these freckles. Now, she didn't actually purchase a tattooing gun, she taped pins together, which I'm guessing is the hack she saw on TikTok. And that's what made her do it. She saw this TikTok video, this trend, and wanted to try it herself. However, it ended up doing this: scarring, pussing, swelling, even resulting in a temporary loss of vision for her. She posted this picture after all her followers asked why she always appeared on Big Brother with a blue mask or in full makeup, as a warning of others not to do these self-tattoo freckle trends. She went to see a dermatologist and she basically told her that the ink she got off the internet was fake tattoo ink and actually contained high levels of lead, which we know is extremely poisonous. She says that the scars are still very deep and she has spent thousands of dollars on getting rid of the damage. However, because of the lead, when they used a laser, the lead in her skin turned black, leading to black spots on her face. So her dermatologist recommends she use 4% hydroquinone, and she says that's helping a lot. She knows what she did was stupid. She openly puts her hands up and says, you know what, this was the most stupidest thing I've ever done. But she is hoping that, in her words, her dumbass story helps others from making the same mistake. Let's talk about sunscreen contouring and tan tattoos. Let's get one thing straight. It's not only dangerous, but it looks shit. It doesn't work. The majority of the time people do this, it does not work for them. If you want a patchy tan, go and get a bad spray tan. So the idea here is only applying sunscreen to areas where you'd see muscle definition and allow the rest of your body to tan. So you're almost contouring in muscles, covering yourself in sunscreen where you want your highlights and leaving no sunscreen or a low factor where you want your shadows, creating the appearance of muscle and a more toned figure. But here's the thing, we all know there's no safe way to tan like this, and burning your skin isn't something to play around with, and you know these people are not reapplying their sunscreen the way they should be every couple of hours whilst laying out in the sun if they have to do these intricate designs on their faces and bodies to contour and to create fake muscle definition. They're not. In fact, here's an example of where it went horribly wrong.
Have you ever watched a TikTok and thought it was a really good idea? So you decide to contour your face with sunscreen to have a natural highlight, and you think it's going to look fantastic. Well, it's not. Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
So that looks more like skiing goggle marks, right, than contour. She has burnt her skin so bad, bless her. And this is what I mean by you do this initial contouring look, you do this initial pattern on your face, on your body, then you don't reapply throughout the rest of the day, so you are getting burnt. You're just burning. And I feel like people when they do this, they try and put their face more in the sun in order to try and get it all working and tanning in the right places without this constant sun protection. The best way you can do this beyond makeup, and that you'll probably get a more accurate contour with, is by using fake tan. And luckily this has become a trend as well, a fake tan contour, a trend I can get behind, and it can be used all over your body as well. Okay, let's talk about the at-home lash lift. I've 100% made this mistake by laminating my own eyebrows, but it was during lockdown, and it's all I could do to tame these like bushy eyebrows. And I wasn't alone. During the pandemic, Google searches for DIY lash lifts rose to 300% due to the ongoing viral trend on TikTok. And you could buy these DIY kits from Amazon that laminate your lashes but also lift your lashes. It's like a perm for your lashes, right? However, there is an issue with these kits, and it's an issue I've experienced myself. They aren't regulated. We don't know where they come from, who's truly making them, what's truly in them, and all these kits are the same kits with different branding on them. And they can cause real damage when not used properly and correctly. So it can give you shit lashes. Look at these. This was after a dodgy eyelash lift. It's so easy to destroy your lashes with these kits. Like, I could feel the damage on my eyebrows when I used to do this myself, and I've like gone to a professional now, and they're so much softer. They're just so soft, and the skin around my eyebrows wasn't damaged and irritated and burning. When you look on TikTok at the peak of this trend, all we see is bad results. Damaged, overprocessed lashes and irritated eyelids. But these can also cause a severe allergic reaction, which I used to get all the time. Not just from the application, but the improper removal of those chemicals you're using on your skin. You can go blind. The absolute worst case scenario, you can go blind if you get this stuff in your eyes. You can damage the glands at the base of the eyelashes, which basically keeps our eyelashes healthy. From working in a salon where we offered perms and permanent hair straightening, I know the right products and the right aftercare are vital in keeping your hair, any hair on your face healthy and looking nice, more importantly. And simply applying a free oil that you get from a £10 Amazon kit is not the best thing to do. Sorry, I've always recommended at-home laminating, and I don't think I'd do it anymore because my eyebrows were dry. So there we have it. Those are some of the most potentially dangerous TikTok trends over the last couple of years. Let me know if you've tried any of these. Put your hands up and be honest, because I have too. Let me know in the comments below. You can watch some more TikTok related content here, some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.